Far beyond the edges of the inhabited world, beyond the shipping lanes, beyond the last islands touched by human presence, there lies a continent ruled by forces older and greater than civilization itself. A continent of ice, a continent of wind, a continent so extreme that it feels less like part of Earth and more like a fragment of another world. This is Antarctica, the most extreme wilderness on Earth. From space, it appears almost simple, a vast white shape resting at the bottom of the planet. But simplicity is an illusion. Beneath that white surface lies a continent larger than Europe, buried beneath kilometers of ice and locked in conditions so severe that survival itself becomes extraordinary. Everything here exists at the edge of possibility. The air is colder, the winds are stronger, the isolation is deeper, and the scale is almost impossible to comprehend. The first impression is silence. Not the silence of an empty room or a quiet forest. A deeper silence, a silence so complete that it feels ancient. The landscape stretches endlessly in every direction. No roads, no forests, no cities, no signs of ordinary life. Only ice merging with sky. Only white horizons dissolving into infinity. Standing here feels like standing on the threshold of another planet. Yet this frozen wilderness is not still. The ice is alive. Across the continent, immense glaciers move with patient determination. Rivers of ice flow toward the sea, advancing meter by meter, year after year. What appears frozen in time is constantly in motion. The continent breathes through its ice, it cracks, it shifts, it groans beneath unimaginable pressure. Sometimes the sound echoes across the wilderness like distant thunder. A reminder that Antarctica is never truly asleep. The ice itself holds stories older than humanity. Layer upon layer of snow has fallen here for hundreds of thousands of years. Each snowfall becomes a page in a frozen archive. Buried deep within the ice are records of ancient atmospheres, ancient climates, and ancient worlds. Long before the rise of civilizations, long before the first cities, long before humans ever dreamed of crossing oceans, the ice was already recording Earth's history. This is not merely a continent, it is a time machine made of frozen water. Yet, Antarctica hides an even stranger secret. Beneath the ice lies another world entirely. Mountain ranges, valleys, canyons, lakes sealed away in darkness for millions of years. Entire landscapes remain hidden beneath the frozen surface. Some are larger than anything visible above. A continent concealed beneath another continent. A geological ghost trapped under ice. The paradox is astonishing. One of the most explored-looking places on Earth remains one of the least understood. The deeper one travels inland, the harsher the environment becomes. Temperatures can plunge below -80 degrees Celsius. Cold so intense that exposed skin can freeze within moments. Cold that transforms breathing into visible clouds. Cold that seems to strip sound from the air. Yet, even here, Antarctica continues to surprise. In the heart of the frozen continent lie valleys where snow rarely falls, barren landscapes of exposed rock, deserts surrounded by ice, places so alien that scientists study them as analogs for Mars. It feels impossible. A desert within the coldest continent on Earth, but Antarctica thrives on impossibility. Everything here seems built from contradictions. Then there is the wind, the true ruler of this continent. Air descends from the high interior and races toward the coast with astonishing force. These katabatic winds can exceed the speed of powerful hurricanes. They sweep across the landscape carrying ice crystals like clouds of shattered glass. The wind sculpts the snow into elegant ridges and frozen waves. It transforms the surface into a work of art created by invisible hands. And still, life survives. At first glance, Antarctica appears lifeless, but look closer. Along the coasts and in the surrounding seas, an extraordinary ecosystem emerges. Penguins gather in vast colonies, thousands of black and white figures standing against a landscape of ice. Their journeys are among the most difficult in the natural world. Across frozen terrain, they march through blizzards and darkness, driven by instincts shaped over countless generations. In the ocean below, Another world unfolds. Whales rise from icy waters. Leopard seals patrol beneath drifting ice. Colossal squid remain hidden in the depths. Tiny krill, scarcely larger than a finger, support one of the greatest food webs on Earth, an entire kingdom sustained by some of the smallest creatures imaginable. Another Antarctic paradox. The giants of the ocean depend on life so small it is almost invisible. During winter, darkness engulfs the continent. The sun vanishes for months, the temperature falls, the sea ice expands outward across millions of square kilometers, Antarctica grows larger, the wilderness extends farther into the surrounding oceans, the world becomes colder, darker, and more isolated. Yet winter reveals one of the planet's greatest spectacles, the aurora. Green and violet curtains of light drift across the sky. They ripple above glaciers and frozen seas. The heavens themselves seem alive. Ancient travelers might have believed they were witnessing messages from another realm. Even today, standing beneath them, that feeling remains. Words seem inadequate. Only wonder survives. Then comes summer, the return of the sun. Light floods the continent without interruption. Day and night lose their meaning. The sun circles endlessly above the horizon. Icebergs glow gold beneath midnight sunlight. Mountains cast long shadows across frozen plains. The continent awakens, not with noise, not with abundance, but with subtle movements that transform the landscape. The sea ice fractures, glaciers calve, massive icebergs break free and begin journeys across the Southern Ocean. Some are larger than entire cities, floating cathedrals of ice carried by currents around the world. Their shapes resemble castles, cliffs, and frozen monuments sculpted by wind and sea. For a brief moment, they become travelers. Then, they vanish into the ocean that created them. Antarctica remains one of the last places where nature still operates on a truly planetary scale. The forces at work here are immense. Ice shapes oceans, oceans shape weather, weather shapes continents. The frozen wilderness at the bottom of the world influences life across the entire planet. And yet, despite its power, Antarctica feels fragile. A place of immense strength and delicate balance, a reminder that even the greatest wildernesses are connected to everything else on Earth. Perhaps that is what makes Antarctica so captivating. It is not merely its cold, not merely its remoteness, not merely its beauty. It is the feeling that you have reached the edge of the known world, a place where human presence becomes insignificant, a place where nature speaks in glaciers, storms, and oceans, a place where time moves differently, a place that reveals how vast this planet truly is. In Antarctica, the world is stripped down to its most elemental forms: ice, wind, water, stone, and silence. The same forces that shaped Earth long before humanity arrived, the same forces that will endure long after we are gone. At the bottom of the world, surrounded by endless white horizons, Antarctica reminds us of a truth we rarely remember. The wildest place on Earth is also the place that makes us feel most alive.